Hey everyone, Kat here. I wanted to do a quick video and really kind of just ask you a question and hopefully get you thinking. So to start, how do you feel when you get a 5-star review? For most of us, and at least I hear it all the time, we're constantly looking just to capture a review in general. We know that people appreciate our service. They might text us, they'll tell us to our face, like, thank you so much. We really appreciate everything you did. But it's just a struggle to get that in a written form or even a video form for you to use in your marketing. So this isn't to downplay doing whatever you need to do to catch that review at all. But I do want to give you some food for thought and some tips about how what you look at as a good review could be even better and how you can help your clients not just leave you better reviews, but kind of get them over the writer's block that prevents them from leaving you one in the first place. All right, so back to the original question. How do you feel when you get a review? Usually, unless it's a bad review, you probably feel warm and fuzzy inside. Someone thinks you have bee's knees. They love what you did for them. And it always feels good to know that what we did for someone pays off in the end. But when a prospective customer is reading that same review, I want you to kind of think about what a review would make them feel and how that might be different than how a review makes you feel. Even a beginner knows that marketing and sales pitches don't really work when it's that me type of perspective and approach. The messaging has to be relevant, relatable, and practical for your target customer. But when you're asking someone to leave you a review and they actually oblige and they're excited to leave you a review, it's usually you. We really like you. We appreciate it. It might read something like, Kat was so great. We are so happy we worked with her and we would do it all over again. And there's nothing wrong with that review. It demonstrates that you satisfied a customer's expectations and you delivered on the services that you said you'd provide. It does go to your credibility. It shows that someone was happy to work with you. Why do I think that this could be better? Now, I want you to put yourself in the shoes of someone that's window shopping for the type of service that you provide. And imagine a review that instead did a little bit of storytelling. For example, it might read something like this. Planning a vacation started to feel like work. We almost gave up after spending hours online trying to do it on our own. But with a simple conversation, Kat understood our dream vacation and put all the pieces together. We could have saved so much time and stress if we found her first, and we'll certainly book with her again. Now, in this review, you have a challenge, which is planning the vacation, a struggle, which is waiting hours through the flood of all the travel resources available online. Like if you've ever traveled, you know how many are out there and they're kind of all the same, but they're all slightly different. And it just becomes kind of a mess of chaos. And you have all these tabs open on your windows. It's not very fun. It ends up becoming a chore to even look at flights and destinations and hotels and car rental packages. Then when you find one you like, there's stipulations that make it more complicated, or they're not available for the dates that you want, or the other person traveling with you can't catch the same flight that you are, and it just spirals out of control. The point is, if you were planning a vacation and you're getting to the point where you're kind of tried to do it on your own a little bit, you're not fully given up, but you've just happened to start looking at sites that offer you more services, concierge services to help you book a vacation. And you read the first review. I'll put that back up on the screen here. Is that really compelling to you versus the second review? Now, do you think that the second review might be a little bit more relatable? Something that you can see yourself in the shoes of this person who's having this struggle, and you're pretty much almost there yourself? And the resolution that this reviewer found in working with, I use my own name, but this hypothetical vacation travel planner. Can you imagine this resolution being something that would work for you and save you the time and the stress of planning something that's supposed to be fun and stress free? Probably the second review is going to be more compelling for you. And again, that doesn't mean that there's anything detractory or bad about the first review, but as a reader, it's not going to stroke your ego the same way as it might stroke the ego of the person the review is about. However, the second review gives the reader, the target audience, something to fix to, something to relate to, something to anchor their own individual self into a story and visualize how this service or this person or this brand or company can bring them down the same journey through the same story with a happy ending. Now, you're probably, if you agree with what I'm saying up till this point, you're following along, you're kind of wondering, all right, well, isn't it kind of weird to go out and ask a past client or someone I just worked with, hey, can you write a review, but like make it a story? That's okay. You don't have to do that. I want you to go all the way back to ground zero and think of all the times that someone was able to express to your face or verbally over the phone or a text message something that wasn't quite a review, but it was an enthusiastic expression of how much they appreciated you and liked working with you and how great you are. But they just never got to leaving you a review, even if they said they would. They said, oh my God, I'll totally review you. Just send me a link. And then they just never got around to it. They ghost you. 9 times out of 10, that happens because that person hits a writer's block. And that's okay. We're all human. I mean, you probably hit writer's block thinking about what to say to ask somebody for a review. You hit writer's block in your daily work. It's something that we all encounter. And you have to understand and empathize with the person you hope would give you a review that they probably experience writer's block the same way, especially since they want to make sure they say something that sounds nice and is a quality review for you. So with that being said, work on the assumption that people want to leave you reviews, but they struggle with coming up with what to say. The good news there is there's a simple formula that can help you help them write a storytelling review. So you're not going to use this formula just to self-serve and get yourself a review. You're really going to be helping someone that wants to give their feedback do so without getting stuck behind that writer's block that makes them never do it at all. And it's simple. It's literally 3 things. First, it's the challenge. You just want to ask, what was your problem? So this means, basically before you found this company, before you found me, what was the issue at hand? What was the elephant in the room? Second is the struggle. Did you try something that didn't work? Maybe what did you try first? They can mention something specifically. We tried other websites or other vacation planners and everything was confusing until we found you, right? And that's how you lead into what actually becomes step 3, the resolution. What was the solution and the final outcome? Now, writers use writing prompts for a reason, and you're really going to greatly increase the likelihood of capturing a review if you help people with this tiny, simple little formula to write a review that they want to give you. They just don't know what to say. All you have to do is ask your client to candidly answer these 3 questions as they review their experience. You can do this out loud verbally. You can do this through an email. It doesn't really matter. With an email, if they return a paragraph to you or they answer in 3 separate lines and it's not really formatted like a smooth reading review, you're absolutely welcome. And I don't know why people are so afraid of this. You can make edits. You can move the words around, fix some capitalization and some grammar. If you make any edits, just kindly give what you have edited back to your client, ask them to review your changes and approve them. That way you have full permission to publish a reworked review. It's that simple. So that's it. I hope this helped you understand reviews a little bit better and come to terms with why people that say they're going to leave you a review might not ever get around to it. And I hope this helps solve either your own inhibition to asking, or it helps your clients leave you the reviews that you deserve. If you got value out of this, I do hope you consider subscribing. If you're not already subscribed, do all the YouTube-y things. If you don't already follow us on Facebook, our Facebook page, Probate Mastery, is a great place to catch new content as it's posted. And then we also have our public community, Estate Professionals Mastermind. It's almost at 5,000 members. It's growing by almost 100 members every week. There's always good questions. There's always good conversation, new content that gets posted there that doesn't always get posted to YouTube. So it's a great place to join. And again, hope you got value out of this and hope you go out there and get some reviews.